if you get to choose a superpower which will help your company grow, like it can act as a catalyst, which superpower would you like to have? This is again very interesting questions that most of the founders hide, but I'll try to get it out of you. How much is your salary?
Okay, it's...
Hey folks, welcome to the first episode of Behind the Boardroom with Founders. Joining us today is Vedant Singh Thakur, the founder and CEO of My Content Cafe. How are you feeling, Vedant?
I'm feeling honored to be with Geekflare and really looking forward to it.
So without any further delay, we would dive right into the topic. And what we are going to do today is, we are going to have a rapid fire round with you.
Cool.
So I will try to put some questions that might puzzle you. And I want you to give us some creative answers that the audience would love. And we would love to have some values from your side as well.
Cool.
So starting off, we'll start with our first question. What was that pivotal moment in your life that gave you the idea about your startup and what led you to this startup?
Okay, so I was in Mumbai before I started my startup, and I used to do job in MTV. And so when the pandemic hit, I was totally blank for 6 months, and I was doing nothing. After 6 months, I started self-analyzing that what can I do exactly. Then I used to take help of my friends, and they said, count your strengths and where you think that there is a future. Do research and go about it. So I was good in script writing, basically. And that's what I'm doing for my YouTube as well. Right. So I was good with script writing. So I saw an opportunity that, okay, there is something called Fiverr where I can earn money for writing script for people.
So moving on to the other question. If you can go back in time and bring one change to your younger self, like before starting your startup, what would be that?
I would start early.
Start early?
Yeah.
Without any prior experience or anything?
Yeah. You can start early, man. Like you can work 3-4 gigs for free and you are good to go. You have a portfolio and you can serve to people.
This is a question that everybody wants to ask, or me personally, I want to know. Is it important to have experience in something to start your own services or start your own business? Is experience mandatory?
If you need money initially, then yes, because people expect experience. They want to see what you have done, or either you have to compensate that with I will give you free sample. If that works, we can collaborate together. So there are two ways to go basically. First is you have free sample for them, or either you have experience, and you can also gain experience for working for free for just previous 3 clients or 2 clients, right?
To build the trust and everything.
Exactly.
So you guys can keep the notes on this. This question is really good. The third question. Which competitor do you admire the most and why?
Interesting. In India, I particularly admire Shebang because they are fucking creative. Let me tell you. They're fucking creative, and I personally, when I started my journey, I used to look up to Shebang only. So it is a connection. Like I feel like they are doing a great job being in India.
Moving on to the fourth question. This is one of the most interesting questions. I want to know about your perspective as a leader. Which is the most challenging decision you have made in your company? What was that? And how did it turn out to be?
The challenging decision for me was to actually, I used to think that we need to have everyone in front of you in order to build a company. But that was challenging initially when I used to deal all my team members remotely. But sooner I realized after a quarter or so that you can cultivate good results from even remote team members as well. That was pretty challenging for the initial phase for me, but right now it is working totally well if you have KPIs set for your team members.
Amazing. This has always been a challenge, like whether you should work remotely or work from office. Is there any difference between the productivity or anything?
It depends person to person, and then it depends on the leader, how the leader is managing. To be honest, I faced problem initially, but right now, if you literally have that culture in your company that what needs to be done wala culture, then it is going to be very smooth.
We have to say, like, you've got some really good teammates, and as a leader, you have certainly keep them intact, keep them disciplined. And obviously, empathy is one of the most underrated skill.
Very, very underrated, and I'm trying to learn things, and I'm trying to have these qualities in me that I always recall in my head that you have to be communicative, you have to be empathetic in order to really grow sustainable brand.
Building a business is not a piece of cake. That's one thing that we all know. We have to face a lot of failures. So I want to know, which is the biggest failure you have seen so far, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise?
Okay, most of you, if you are from service industry, will relate to this. Our biggest client left us, and we took conscious decision that we came on a call and we said, okay, let's not work together because we are not sharing the same values. It's not about right or wrong. It's about if you are not sharing a same value with anyone, just leave them, because it's not good for you, for your team, and ultimately bad word of mouth will happen against you. So that was pretty challenging, and if I calculate in numbers, that was our highest client. Being a 1.5 years old company, they were giving us almost $10,000 that time, but still we left them because the team overall were not able to serve anyone apart from them, because the value match was not there. They were thinking that we are the extension of them 100%, right? That isn't the case, even though we have separate team for them. So if you don't match the value with someone, just don't work with them, because you are not able to give your 100%, and there is no point if you're not giving your 100%.
So obviously, when starting a business, it's not just about the money, it's about the reputation and the commitment.
Exactly.
Whether you can fulfill it or not.
Exactly.
Moving on to the next question. Well, they say small town kids cannot dream big. Well, this reminds me of an achievement that I would like to quote of Vedant. We all have heard about NAS Daily, and it organizes one of the biggest content creator events in this world. And you were the part of the
23rd this year.
So you became the part of the 2023 NAS Daily Content Creator Summit, which was organized in Dubai, I guess.
Dubai, yeah.
And let me tell you, over thousands and thousands of creators have applied for that, and only a few got selected out of 66 countries.
Yeah.
And Vedant was one of them. And that's not just it. He was invited twice on the stage, and he's the only person in this entire world who was invited twice on the stage. Can you share the brief about it?
Okay, so once I got featured and once I got invited on the stage. So the experience overall was mind blowing. That was my first international trip, to be honest. And the things, how it turned out to be, it was really amazing. I got so many different perspectives. I even met Baiju's founders personally. We had a chat, and we had a deep discussion with the NAS Daily off stage, obviously. And that was eye-opening. Means how we look to content creation is totally different. It's not just about numbers, it's about values. It's about, do you really love content creation? If you don't love content creation, it will turn out to be evil for you. So many learnings were there, but this one particular thing was really with me after that. And one more thing happened there. I really got great perspective about AI. One of the biggest, I would say, AI expert were there, and he told us that how exactly AI is going to turn out. So that's where I started thinking like, okay, let's really do something around AI. And like, I won't disclose, I cannot disclose, but we are coming up with some product around AI only.
That's amazing. Apart from a founder, you're also a content creator, right? So this is one of my personal questions that I want to ask you, and I hope there are many other people who have the same question. Like, when talking in public, we are very confident. We can speak anything. We won't fumble. But there is something when the camera opens now. When the camera starts, we forget our lines. We start getting nervous. We are forgetting our lines and everything. All the things are happening there. And once we see the final product, we are like, no, yeah, it's not that good. It's not worthy enough to post it on the internet. What is the solution of it? How we can start our content creation journey?
This might be something which you have already heard of, but before starting out, I did a 30 days challenge and I was able to complete it for one of my early digital marketing institute from where I got diploma done. So they told us that do this challenge for 30 days, and out of 40-50 people, only 3 of them were able to complete this challenge, and I was one of them. That particular thing really turned out to be good. What we used to do is we used to create vlog every day about how was our day was. Like, for example, at 9 p.m. I used to shoot a video that how my day looked like, and for 30 days I did that, and it was like you being comfortable with the camera. You are comfortable with public, right? We are speaking, I'm comfortable with you, but when you turn into camera, you start, okay, there is no human. What should I say? Then we build perception that, okay, this is going to be watched from our, like, my friends are going to watch it, my family is going to watch it. So you start thinking about that subconsciously. So that you need to change. For that, you just need to be comfortable with the camera, and 30-day challenge is something you can opt for.
What is that one book that has changed your life and you would recommend it to everyone around?
Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I started reading when I was in college. Slowly, it starts giving you answers for every part of your life, how the life folds, and that's how, like, I cannot explain this book, to be honest. You have to, like, it is only $5 or so. You can just order it and you can see for yourself. At least give it a try. So that's what I would suggest.
This is also very interesting questions. If you were not a founder of MCC, what would be your profession right now?
I would probably doing something around media industry because I was really interested in media. That's why I went to Mumbai and I was there for 1.5 years. So somewhere around media or might be acting, because I'm also a trained actor, by the way. I got trained from Actor Prepares Its Academy from Anupam K. So,
oh my God.
You know.
So you are like jack of all, I think.
Yeah, I need to be master.
You need to be master. That's really amazing. We're into acting, media, creativity, for the creatives, artificial intelligence, founder, whatnot. That's really amazing to get to know this side also.
Exploring.
So, being a founder, there might be some stressful days, right? So, how do you decompress it? How do you chill out? And how do you get the stress out of it? What are your methods? I want to know that. Personally, I want to know that.
Okay. I do completely different. Like, if I am working and my work is related to my phone, my laptop, my colleagues, even my partner, so I just ran away. I hang out with my friends like crazy. We go to a short mini trip, and if I will say in a daily manner, I just watch a movie, and my movie is document. So I'm very boring in the eyes of my partner, but still, like, this is my escape, man. Like, either I go again to screen, which is a bad thing, I think, because screen is like, after watching a whole movie, I feel like, yeah, again screen. but I personally prefer going to my friends, and specifically my older friends.
Your favorite documentary?
I won't say it is a documentary, but Ford versus Ferrari is something.
Oh my God, this is one of the classics.
Yeah.
I have to agree. This is one of the classic.
Classic.
Other than your car, any materialistic thing, or which is the most expensive trip you have been to?
Dubai, man. I invest. I will say investing. But I invested a lot in Dubai trip. A normal person could have been to Dubai for 3 times, which I invested in 1 time. So that was crazy. I went totally bonker. Like, this is my first international trip. I will do whatever I want. I went to the most expensive restaurant, this, that. So this thing happened. And being a 25, 26-year-old guy, this is your dream. Like, so coming from tier 3 city of India, where there were only 1 English medium school, I studied there. So the dreams were big, but after achieving things, I feel like, okay, this was just one-time thing and I won't even do it even I become millionaire after some time. The same thing which I did when I had very less than a million.
That's really amazing. Moving on to another very interesting question. Which is the best part and the worst part being a founder?
Okay.
And I don't want any cliche answers. Give me something interesting.
Okay. Best part of being a founder is skin in the game. Let me be very honest, all the founders will agree to this. When you have skin in the game, you have motivation 10x than everyone in the room. So that is the best part of being a founder. I personally believe in going all in anything what I do. So that was one thing. And what is the worst part? Sometimes things are not in your place, right? Whether it is team member who was not able to give the desired result, whether it is client who is not agreeing to your point, or just you're not matching with the client. So that is the worst part, but it's a part and partial game. You cannot just ignore the fact that sometime this is going to happen.
So you're just all in.
All in. I am all in. All in.
Amazing. So for the students who are in first year, second year, or maybe third year, if you have to give them one advice, what will it be?
Explore. One important thing which I want to point it out is we are not taught to how to make decisions. I know a lot of people are talking about we are not taught finance in school, we are not taught how to become a particular person, but I will say we are not taught to make decisions. So if you are a student, trust me, you have time. Don't see these teenager founders and get conscious, okay, and just explore like Ritesh is doing. Explore different things, write down your interest, cut it short, make it into 3, and just go on exploring, do internships, whatever, and if the things are looking good for you, continue it. That's what I did personally, even if I was not a student at that particular time.
Let me share you a very interesting story. When I was in my first year, so one of my seniors told me to go on LinkedIn, start connecting with people, and maybe you'll get 1 or 2 opportunities. So when I joined LinkedIn, all I was saying, I got 1.5 CR package, I've got 55 LPA package, I've got 25. I'm like, these people will eat me out.
Exactly.
I won't be surviving into this crowd.
Exactly.
But when I started exploring myself, I started as a content writer. In the beginning, I felt ashamed. Like, I'm just a writer. I'm surrounded with developers. Someone has cracked GDSC. Someone has cracked G-Shock. Someone's taking participation in Microsoft. I'm just a mere content writer for a very small journalism industry. I stand nothing in front of them. But after some time, I'm seeing my articles are creating headlines. People are debating. People are using my articles as a reference to debate on Twitter. You must have heard about Sham Sharani.
Yeah.
There was a debate sparked by him and people were using my article as a reference. And I was on the headline.
Wow.
My editors were calling me, Ritesh, your article has done really good. People are using it as a reference. At that time I felt, I've got more power. Like my writing has got more power.
Exactly.
People are using it as a reference. And I began my writing journey. And then I got placed into this Geekflare and everything. And then my life changed. Then I got to know what power I hold. This is something that I like to share. Like global founders and every business heads of different companies used to email me. Just tell me your price. We want our articles to be written by you. I want it to be published on your site. But we have some policy that we can breach. But they were paying me like $500 to $1,000 for their one paragraph.
Wow.
I felt like this is the power that I hold. And then when I start sharing my experiences on LinkedIn, then I got to know it's very easy to beat the competition. All you have to do is be persistent.
Yes, and everything starts with writing, so you cannot underestimate.
And that's one thing. No career is like dominant, or no career is on the short side.
It's not.
If you work hard, you can do the best in your field.
Exactly. As I told you, right? Success is subjective. You cannot just rank it. For instance.
So this next question is very interesting. Let's dive into the comic verse. If you get to choose a superpower which will help your company grow,
Okay.
like it can act as a catalyst, which superpower would you like to have?
Interesting. Yeah, I never thought in this way. What superpower can be incorporated in any company to look into the future? Because that's how we will be able to deliver the best, and we will see the future before, and we will give what exactly will work in the future.
So Doctor Strange, basically, you can see in the future. Like how many billion possibilities you have seen, and you know that one possibility which can get you millions.
Exactly.
So this is one of the questions that you guys usually ask, but I'm going to ask it from you. Where do you see yourself and your company in the next 5 years?
Oh my god. It's interview turned, the podcast turned interview basically.
In the reverse.
Cool. We really want to, I won't say I want to work with Fortune 500, but in the next 5 years, I want to work with startup, and with our collaboration, I want to see that startup, or you can call my client or customer, to the Fortune 500 list. That's where I see my company in the next 5 years.
This is again very interesting questions that most of the founders hide, but I'll try to get it out of you. How much is your salary?
Okay, it's 33,000 rupees is my salary, cumulative, and it's on paper, and my even team members know about it. I have shared them the deed that, look guys, this is my salary, so I take 33,000 basically.
So 33,000 is approx $35 if I was saying. $350.
$350 to $400.
So his monthly salary is $350 to $400 only.
Yeah. By the way, all the travel expense is covered by the company, as you guys all know. So yeah, most of the things are covered by the company, and I live in tier 2 city, so there are not so many expenses which I have to deal with. So 33 is enough for me as of now.
Sliding down the iPhones aside,
I don't have any iPhone. Like that's Ritesh iPhone.
Another thing, which is that one piece of software that you cannot live without.
It's ChatGPT right now.
It's in our daily life.
Yeah, it is. And for my company, it's Adobe. It's Adobe everywhere. We breathe Adobe basically.
So Adobe and ChatGPT, if you're seeing this, please sponsor us.
Geekflare, huge shout out.
So moving on to our last segment or the last question. Like you have mentioned, you have been to Dubai and you have seen some glimpse of the future of artificial intelligence. So if you have to say to our audience, what is our future like? How dominant will AI be? So can you share some insights about it?
Okay, I will talk about the consumer front of AI which we are using right now, because talking about the security layer won't be a fair deal right now, because we really don't know what is going in the back end. But in the front end, what we are using, I will say it is like social media, it is like mobile that we are using in our day-to-day basis, but it depends on how we use it, right? If we are using social media for 4 hours a day and we are scrolling Instagram, we are doing nothing, we are just scrolling that 30-second, 50-second reels, our cognitive thing is going to get effed up. So the same thing will happen with AI if we are using it in a productive manner instead of killing our creativity. So there we need to really think of if AI is really important here or not. Is it going to make us sustainable or going to kill our creativity? Right? Because sometimes there might be, you never know in the future, like there might be a place where you will get stuck. There is no internet, nothing, no AI. So what you will be able to do? You have to use your brain, you have to use your cognitive bias, right? So that's where I would say that keep a balance in using either social media, mobile or AI.
So with that note, we are going to wrap up the first episode of Behind the Boardroom with Vedant Singh Thakur. Personally, I believe it was a very good interaction, Vedant. I personally have learned a lot of things. I'm pretty sure that the audience will also get a lot of values. We are looking forward to bring more like-minded people like you.
Awesome.
Where we can get more insights, more values and everything. So that was it. And we would like to wrap it up. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, do subscribe it.
Thank you so much.